Hey everybody, Dr. Dave Marquis here, and I had a couple of things that I wanted to share today. Actually two. I want to kind of do a recap on the things that you need to be aware of because of the season that we're kind of merging into. And I also wanted to touch base on the concept of community and meeting one another's needs. It came to my thought that I might want to share this when I had a patient recently that had kind of an epiphany in the office and shared a comment, and I just wanted to share the gist of that comment. Sometimes we don't feel heard, and sometimes we feel isolated and don't necessarily recognize that other people are experiencing those exact same sentiments and feelings, and if we together can support one another, not only does the discord and disharmony become less inside, you actually start to strengthen one another rather than commiserate and go down. So I've become a very strong proponent of community, and community can be a lot of different things, and it can be found in a lot of different areas. When an individual finds themselves in that situation when they feel isolated, it can actually exacerbate their health situation where they can become more sick and they can start to manifest illness in a variety of ways. And it can literally become part of the root cause of that negative vicious cycle that they get into. And when they feel alone, and alone can happen for a lot of different reasons. It can be because you're physically isolating yourself. And sometimes we get that way where we're like, I just don't feel like getting off of my couch and walking out my door. And we fail to recognize that that very action might be the thing that's needful for you to actually make the first step in restoring your health. Finding another individual that you can put your arm around them and they can put their arm around you. Because when we're together, our powers are actually multiplied. It's not a 1 + 1. There's actually a multiplication of forces when we're in each other's presence. And call it what you want. I call that a spiritual thing because I really think that we're connected energetically. And I know that. And I've applied that in my own life. And I see it in real time. When we give service to another human being and we show love and compassion to another individual, that comes back to us tenfold. It might not be in that moment, but I promise you it will come back and you'll find yourself at a higher plane. And it becomes additive to your health potential. So when I was thinking about this individual that really hadn't felt heard in their life and really wasn't feeling supported, one of the questions that they asked was, do you know of a resource that I can turn to find this type of support that I'm starting to recognize that I need? And I'm like, my gosh, yes, it's all around us. Here at Pathways to Health, we started to think, okay, that might be part of our job is to help to raise the awareness of the community that this is something that we can do here, but you could do it in your own community. If we're doing it all over the place and we're drawing our individual communities together, well, isn't that making us collectively healthier all across the globe if people start to do that? And it comes in a lot of different forms. I mean, I really think that at its core is the purpose of churches. I mean, when you look at religion as a whole and you throw away all the dogma, the concept of church and religion really should be loving one another and supporting one another in each other's times of needs and successes. So you're celebrating life. And that comes in a lot of different ways. Sometimes it is just putting your arm around somebody when they're having a hard time and showing them some empathy and sympathy and being there with them. And then other times, when something great has happened, a child's been born, there's been a wedding or a graduation, you can help celebrate those things. When we're together, we are healthier. And we're going to have an event coming up fairly soon, and I want that event to be an opportunity where we can share health information, where we can talk with one another and have collaborative minds mingling, so that we're sharing the good things and the hard things in our life and finding common solutions so that we can get ourselves to a higher level on that playing field. Because we, as individual communities, each have incredible resources. Each person that you personally know has things in their mind and in their experiences that you're completely unaware of. And it won't come to the surface until you sit down and talk. And sometimes the best place to talk is while you're eating and drinking and dancing and having a good time. So there's a purpose behind socialization beyond, I want to make a business deal. And I would encourage each of you, wherever you happen to live, to be that force and find individuals, whether it be in churches or businesses or in your academic setting, to take time away from the day-to-day grind and find ways to celebrate and share common information and the successes and failures of your life, because that's how we're all going to support one another and become a healthier people, both mentally, spiritually, physically. It's going to happen if we just do these types of things. So having said that, I'd like to reiterate, since we're going into the fall, and in the fall we tend to experience different dis-ease, and there's reasons for that. Kids go back to school, we lose exposure to sunshine, we tend to be indoors a little bit more, our stress load goes up because we've changed our sleep cycle. All of these things contribute to dis-ease, and so you start to sometimes manifest infections. Well, that is not the time to back off on your nutrition and your diet and your sleep habits. That's the time to double down on those things. So these are things that people should just have going on routinely. So we have the vitamin A, D, E, C, quercetin, glutathione, zinc, some N-acetylcysteine. That's kind of my core that I will use on an ongoing basis, at least once a week at a relatively high dose. And if someone is actually starting to feel like they're going down, they're not feeling like they're breathing well, or they're producing some mucus, or they're achy, I'm going to add some other things. I might have them nebulize hydrogen peroxide that evening and clear out their airways. I might have them drink a pint of ozonated water. I might have them drink some herbal teas that are going to be soothing to their throat. Things that have like slippery elm, marshmallow root, deglycerized licorice, aloe. All of those things can be really beneficial because it soothes those tissues. And then, of course, I have my general protocol, which is most of the things that I just said, just at a lower dose. That's going to be unique to everybody, just like the volume of these micronutrients is unique to everybody. So, I mean, just because I have a standardized dose as a recommendation, please don't look at that as the end-all be-all, oh, I have to get to that load, because your needs might be different. It's just a guideline, and that's why I love to get lab testing on people so I can see where they're actually at. And I encourage you all to do that with your doctor. Make sure that you know where you're at in a health basis. So I hope that's motivating for you to reach out and embrace your community, and also remember that as we go into the fall, you need to be proactive. Don't back off on your nutrition. Now's the time that you want to double down so that we can get through to the spring and be healthy doing it. Hope that was helpful to you. Have a great day and be well.